My beloved child, God says. Don't scroll. If this message found you today, it wasn't an accident. Stay until the end because God has something He wants you to hear. There is someone whose heart has been holding on to hope far longer than anyone realizes. They have tried to convince themselves that it's over. They have repeated the words, "I must move on," more times than they can count. But every time they take one step away from you, something unseen pulls them back. They are waiting for one final sign. One final confirmation. One final moment that tells them they are not fighting for a love that no longer exists. Listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal may explain the strange emotions you have been feeling. The restlessness, the memories that suddenly return without warning, the dreams that feel too real to ignore. These are not random. They are reminders that two hearts connected by destiny can never truly silence the call I placed within them. Your soulmate has reached a point where they believe this may be their last chance. They are standing between hope and surrender, between faith and fear. They tell themselves that if nothing changes now, they will let go forever. Yet even while saying those words, their heart whispers your name in silence. They wonder if you still think about them. They wonder if you remember the promises that were never spoken aloud but were felt deep within your soul. They question whether you have already chosen another path. Every unanswered question has become a burden they carry alone. What they don't know is that I have seen every tear they refuse to let anyone witness. I have heard every prayer they whispered when no one else was listening. I know the battles inside their heart, and I know yours as well. Before you decide that everything is finished, understand this. Sometimes I allow silence not to separate two souls, but to prepare them for a reunion that could never happen if they rushed ahead in fear. This silence has been shaping both of you. It has been teaching patience, healing wounds, and revealing truths that only time could uncover. But now something is beginning to change. A door that seemed permanently closed is starting to unlock. A conversation that felt impossible is moving closer with every passing day. There are invisible pieces falling into place that neither of you can yet see. Stay with this message. Because what happens next may be the answer you've been waiting for. My beloved child, God says. Before you decide what your next step will be, you must understand what is happening inside your soulmate's heart right now. Every day they wake up hoping today will be different. Every notification on their phone makes them wonder if it could finally be you. Every unfamiliar number, every unexpected message, every small coincidence causes their heart to race for just a moment before disappointment settles in once again. They have become exhausted, pretending they no longer care. They smile in front of others, but when they are alone, they replay memories that refuse to fade. They remember conversations that seemed ordinary at the time but now mean everything. They remember the moments when they almost reached out but stopped themselves because fear whispered that you had already forgotten them. They tell themselves that if one more day passes without a sign, they will finally close this chapter forever. Yet each time they try, something inside refuses to let go. That is because what I have joined cannot be erased by human doubt alone. There is still unfinished purpose between your two lives. There are lessons still unfolding and blessings still waiting to be revealed. Do not mistake the delay for denial. My timing is often different from yours, but it is never without purpose. While you have been wondering why everything became so quiet, I have been working where human eyes cannot see. I have been removing obstacles that neither of you even knew existed. I have been healing fears carried from old heartbreaks, breaking chains of insecurity, and preparing both of your hearts for a meeting that will not be built on confusion but on truth. Your soulmate has reached the edge of giving up, but even there, I continue to remind them of you through unexpected memories, familiar songs, repeated numbers, and quiet moments they cannot explain. They think these are coincidences, but they are gentle reminders that I have not forgotten the promise I placed within their heart. If you have also been feeling unusual emotions lately, if thoughts of them have suddenly become stronger, if you cannot explain why their name keeps returning to your mind, do not ignore it. Sometimes I speak through the quiet places where words cannot reach. The story between you has not ended. In fact, you are standing much closer to a turning point than either of you realizes. Stay with me, my child, because in the next part one will reveal what your soulmate is secretly planning, and why the decision they are about to make could change both of your lives forever. My beloved child, God says, there is something your soulmate has never admitted to anyone. They have rehearsed a conversation with you countless times inside their mind. They have imagined what they would say if they were given just one more opportunity. Sometimes they picture themselves apologizing. Other times they imagine simply asking, "How have you been?" hoping that one small question could reopen a door they fear has already closed forever. But every time they gather the courage, fear speaks louder than faith. Fear tells them they will be rejected. Fear convinces them that you have already moved on. Fear whispers that reaching out will only bring more pain. So instead of acting, they remain silent, carrying emotions that grow heavier with every passing day. Yet I tell you this, my child, silence does not always mean the absence of love. Sometimes silence is the battlefield where courage is being born. I have been watching every struggle within their heart. I know every tear they hide, every sleepless night they endure, and every prayer they whisper when they believe no one is listening. They have asked me for one final confirmation before they make their decision. They said, "God, if there is still hope, show me something I cannot ignore." What they do not realize is that I am already arranging moments that neither of you could have planned on your own. A path that seemed impossible is slowly opening. An unexpected opportunity is drawing closer. Someone may speak your name to them. A familiar place may suddenly bring back memories too powerful to ignore. A simple event may become the reason your lives cross again. Do not underestimate the small things, because I often use ordinary moments to accomplish extraordinary purposes. But I also want you to understand this truth. Your future cannot be built on fear. If love is to grow, it must grow through honesty, forgiveness, and trust rather than assumptions and silence. The walls built by pride must fall before the blessings I have prepared can fully enter your lives. This season has never been about punishment. It has been about preparation. I have been strengthening both of your hearts, so that when the moment finally arrives, you will recognize the value of what I have placed before you. Your soulmate feels that time is running out. They believe this is their final chance before they force themselves to let go forever. But my child, my plans are not controlled by human deadlines. When I declare that the appointed time has come, no fear, no distance, and no obstacle can stop what I have ordained. So do not lose hope because the silence has lasted longer than expected. The breakthrough is often closest when everything appears most impossible. Stay with me, because in the next part one will reveal the unexpected event that will shake your soulmate's heart and make them realize they can no longer hide what they truly feel. My beloved child, God says, the moment your soulmate has been trying to avoid is now drawing near. They can no longer silence the feelings they buried beneath disappointment and fear. Every attempt to distract themselves has only brought them back to the same place, back to the memories of you. They have searched for peace in other directions, hoping time would erase what they feel, but instead they discovered that real love cannot simply be replaced. It can only be understood. I have allowed this season to reveal what truly matters to their heart. The people they once depended on could not fill the emptiness they carried. The achievements they pursued could not quiet the questions inside them. Even when everything around them appeared normal, there remained a space that only my purpose could explain. That emptiness kept reminding them that something important was left unfinished. My child, while they have been wrestling with uncertainty, I have been teaching them humility. They are beginning to understand that pride has cost them precious time. They now see the words they should have spoken, the opportunities they allowed to slip away, and the fears that kept them trapped. This realization has not come to shame them but to prepare them for a different future. Sometimes a heart must be broken open before it is ready to receive the blessing waiting on the other side. Your soulmate has reached that place. They are no longer asking whether they miss you. They already know the answer. The question they are asking now is whether they still have a chance. They wonder if your heart has remained open or if they have already arrived too late. They cannot stop imagining what your reaction would be if they reached out today. Every possibility fills them with both hope and fear. But hear me carefully, my child. I have not forgotten either of you. Every prayer, every tear, every silent cry has been recorded before me. What looks delayed to you has never been forgotten by me. I am arranging circumstances that human hands could never create. A conversation you believed would never happen may arrive unexpectedly. A message you stopped waiting for could appear when you least expect it. A moment that seems ordinary may become the turning point that changes everything. But remember this truth: the greatest miracle is not simply being reunited. The greatest miracle is becoming the people I created you to be before that reunion takes place. If both hearts are transformed, what follows will be stronger than what was lost. Continue to trust me even when you cannot yet see the full picture. Do not let fear write the ending of a story that I am still writing. Your soulmate believes they are waiting for one last sign, but what they do not realize is that I am preparing a sign so undeniable that it will awaken courage where fear once lived. Stay until the next part, because I will reveal why the next few moments in their journey will force them to make a decision they can no longer postpone, and the choice they make will echo through both of your lives. My beloved child, God says. The decision your soulmate has been delaying can no longer be postponed. They have reached a place where their heart is growing tired of pretending that everything is fine. Every day they remain silent, the weight inside them becomes heavier. They have tried to convince themselves that forgetting you would be easier than facing the uncertainty of reaching out. But every attempt has failed because what I planted within their heart cannot be erased by human effort alone. They have begun to realize that running away from destiny only creates more emptiness. That is why they are standing at a crossroads. One path leads to permanent regret. The other leads to courage. They do not yet know which path they will choose, but I am quietly guiding their steps toward the one I have prepared. There are conversations happening around them that they never expected to hear. Someone has spoken words that caused them to stop and think about you again. A memory they thought had disappeared suddenly returned with overwhelming clarity. Even the smallest reminders now seem impossible to ignore. They keep asking themselves, why can't I let this go? The answer is simple, my child. Because not every connection is created by chance. Some are written into my greater plan long before two people ever meet. I know the beginning and the end of your story. I know the tears neither of you have shown the world. I know the fears that have kept both of you trapped in silence. But I also know the future I am preparing if you continue to trust me instead of your fears. Your soulmate has started to understand that waiting forever is no longer an option. They are beginning to realize that silence is creating more pain than honesty ever could. This understanding is changing something deep within them. The walls they built to protect themselves are starting to crack. Behind those walls is a heart that still carries hope, even if they are afraid to admit it. My child, I want you to remember this. Do not allow impatience to steal the peace I have placed within you. What appears delayed is often being carefully arranged beyond your sight. There are details I am aligning that you could never accomplish on your own. One unexpected moment can change everything. One conversation can heal years of misunderstanding. One act of courage can rewrite a future that once seemed impossible. Your soulmate believes they are waiting for one last sign before letting go forever. But they do not realize that the sign they have been praying for is already moving toward them. When it arrives, it will shake every doubt they have carried and force them to confront the truth they have been trying to escape. Stay with me, my child, because in the next part one will reveal the unexpected message, encounter, or event that will make your soulmate realize they can no longer hide from what I have placed inside their heart, and why the moment that follows could become the beginning of a brand new chapter for both of you. My beloved child, God says, the hour is approaching when your soulmate will no longer be able to ignore the voice I have been placing inside their heart. For so long they believed that staying silent would protect them from disappointment. They convinced themselves that if they never reached out, they could never be rejected. But now they are discovering that silence has become a heavier burden than honesty. Every day they wait, they feel the distance growing more painful. Every night they wonder if they have already waited too long. They have asked me again and again, Lord, if this love is still part of your plan, give me one unmistakable sign. My child, I have heard every one of those prayers. I have never turned away from them, even when they believed heaven had become silent. While they were waiting for an answer, I was preparing them for it. I was strengthening their heart, removing fear little by little, and teaching them that true love is built on faith instead of certainty. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that not every risk leads to loss. Sometimes the greatest blessings only appear after someone chooses courage over comfort. They have started imagining what life would feel like if they allowed fear to make this decision for them forever. The thought fills them with regret before anything has even happened. That regret is becoming impossible to ignore. They no longer want to spend years wondering what could have been if they had simply taken one step forward. My child, this is where my hand begins to move in ways neither of you expect. An ordinary day will suddenly become unforgettable. A simple moment will carry extraordinary meaning. A message, a familiar name, a place you both know, or an unexpected conversation will awaken emotions that have been sleeping beneath the surface. They will realize these moments are happening too perfectly to be accidents. They will begin to recognize that I have been guiding them all along. Do not be afraid. if events unfold differently than you imagined. My plans rarely follow human expectations, but they always accomplish my purpose. Sometimes I open doors quietly instead of dramatically so that peace enters before excitement. Sometimes I answer prayers through small beginnings that eventually become life-changing miracles. Your soulmate is standing closer to that beginning. Then they realize. They still believe they are waiting for one final sign, but the truth is that I am preparing to make them the answer to the prayer they have been praying. Their heart is softening. Their faith is returning. Their courage is growing stronger than their fear. And when the moment arrives, they will understand that all the waiting was never meant to punish them, it was meant to prepare them for a blessing they would finally be ready to receive. Stay with me, my child, because in the final part one will reveal why the reunion I have been preparing is unlike anything either of you expected, and how trusting my timing will bring a peace that fear could never provide. My beloved child, God says. Don't think that the waiting was meaningless. Every moment that seemed empty, every unanswered prayer, every night you questioned whether anything would ever change was being woven together by my hands into a story far greater than you could imagine. Your soulmate is no longer the same person they were when this journey began. The pain they carried has humbled them. The silence they feared has taught them patience. The distance they once blamed has become the very thing that opened their eyes to what truly matters. They now understand that some people enter your life for a season, but others are placed there by my purpose. You are one of those people they cannot forget, because I have allowed your presence to remain in their heart for a reason. They have tried every way they know to silence your memory, yet every road has brought them back to the same truth: you still matter to them more than they ever admitted. My child, I have watched them wrestle with guilt over the words they never spoke and the opportunities they allowed to pass. They wonder if they have missed the moment forever. They ask themselves whether you would still welcome them if they finally found the courage to step forward. They fear your silence, because it reflects the same silence they once chose. But I tell you this, fear does not write the final chapter. I do. When I decide that the season of waiting has fulfilled its purpose, no wall built by pride can stand forever. No misunderstanding is too great for my wisdom. No distance is too far for my hand to reach. I can restore what human strength could never repair. I can bring peace where confusion once ruled. I can create a new beginning where everyone else expected the story to end. Your soulmate is about to discover that hope is stronger than regret. They are beginning to believe that one honest step is worth more than a lifetime of wondering, what if? The courage they have been praying for is rising within them little by little. They may not even recognize it at first, but they will soon realize they are no longer willing to lose you because of fear. My child, while they are preparing to take that step, I am also preparing your heart. I do not Want either of you to carry the wounds of yesterday into the blessings of tomorrow? Forgiveness must replace bitterness. Faith must replace doubt. Love must replace fear. Only then will the foundation be strong enough to hold the future I have prepared. So do not lose hope because of what your eyes cannot yet see. Trust me when the path seems uncertain. Believe me when circumstances appear impossible. My timing has never failed, and it will not fail you now. The story you thought was ending is closer to a new beginning than you realize. Keep walking with me, keep listening for my voice, and keep your heart open to the work I am doing behind the scenes. For when the appointed moment arrives, you will understand why every delay, every tear, every unanswered question, and every season of waiting was necessary. You will see that I was never late. I was preparing a blessing that would arrive at exactly the right time. If this message has touched your heart, type Amen in the comments as a declaration of faith. Share this message with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more daily messages of